You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Diluting Bara, Volume 2, written by Dr. Karim Abuzaid, and that's a picture of Dr. Karim Abuzaid. And tonight we'll be discussing the challenges, how the internet can impose or present challenges. Awa, did you mute that? How the internet can hold on for a second, please, guys. Is it muted in there? No, it's not. Hold on, give me a second. I muted it. Okay. Tonight we're going to speak about the different challenges that the internet can impose upon our Islamic beliefs, and how we as Muslims can handle or address those challenges. So we'll be covering pages 234 through 237 of the book tonight. So you can take out your books and follow along. Turn to page 234 and you can follow along. And also remember, you can also screenshot the PowerPoints and print them out as well. So let's get started. Okay, everybody can see. So within the digital communication era, which is the era that we're living in today, the expansive information landscape of the internet offers many ideas and perspectives that can directly challenge our Islamic beliefs and principles. This diversity, although it's potentially enriching, it can also pose as a challenge to our Islamic principles. Individuals can access content that can contest or contradict our Islamic doctrines. And as a result, it can create doubts and skepticisms about our faith. So we have to be very careful with the internet. And this is something that I'm always speaking about, especially with this Google. This phenomena known as the Google. A lot of you use Google to research Islam, and this is not a good thing, because the information that's put in Google is put there by non-Muslims, Zionists. You want to know the meaning of a verse of the Quran, what do? You Google it, and the meaning that you get is not accurate, because Allah has protected the Quran. Allah has protected the hadiths. You're not going to get the correct meaning of a verse of the Quran. For an example, you will put in verse 33. You will put in the verse of the Quran that speaks about women past the age of childbearing, being able to remove their clothing. And they'll say that this means that if a woman reaches a certain age, she can take off her hijab and her abaya. That's not what that verse is saying. There is no verse in the Quran that says after a woman reaches a certain age, she can take off her hijab or take off her overgarment. That's not what that verse is saying in Arabic. First of all, the Arabic language is nothing like English. That's really a bad translation of the Arabic. What that verse is saying in Arabic is that once a woman is no longer sexually, everything relates to sexually appealing in Islam. That verse is speaking about once a woman is no longer physically, sexually appealing. It's talking about if you were a woman and you were so close to death that if that woman stood outside naked with no clothes on, she is so old, so wrinkled up, so close to dying that if a person saw her naked, and if that man was in his right mind, all he would do is take pity on her. That's what that verse is saying. That a woman is so sexually unappealing due to her wrinkles and her physical looks that he would only pity her. He would not have no man in his right mind would have any desire for her. That's what that verse is saying. It is not saying that you reach a certain age. And most women, there's a known fact, we have women in their 80s and 90s that still look good, that you would still find physically attractive. Subhanallah. So that's an example. You cannot Google this religion and get a meaning like that. If you want to understand Islam, you have to do what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to do. You have to ask the people of knowledge. That's how Allah preserved and protected the Quran. You can't teach yourself this religion. A non-believer cannot sit there and try to interpret the meaning of the Quran like that. You have to learn the hadiths. You have to know the history. You have to know what the companions said and all of that. So we have to be careful of this internet. The internet can create doubts and skepticisms about our way of life. And also we have a lot of online platforms that propagate atheistic ideologies and discussions that can also create doubts about even the existence of Allah. We have online platforms that promote atheism and secularism. These platforms often present arguments and narratives aimed at undermining Islamic beliefs, potentially leading to the erosion of faith and weakening religious identity among specific people. Look at today. We have so many platforms that try to make Muslim women feel like they are oppressed, deprived, and depraved because of the way we dress, because we choose our way of life commands for us to be modest and cover our body. Because we dressed and cover our body, we're oppressed. That's not true. So to effectively address these type of issues, we have to take a proactive stance as Muslims. And that stance is guided by the concept of al-wala wal-bara. Now you see why that concept, the concept of allegiance and disassociation is so important. We have to use el wala wal bara when it comes to this internet. This is how we avoid skepticism, doubts, and all of that. And let's talk about how we can, if we utilize el wala wal bara, how we can embrace the challenges that the internet has head on. For example, if we utilize el wala wal bara, that would empower us through knowledge and discernment. The principle of el wala wal bara equips us to actively pursue knowledge and exercise critical thinking when confronting challenges to our beliefs. By engaging with the spectrum of perspectives, we as Muslims can deepen our understanding of Islamic teachings and reinforce our faith. This type of approach entails seeking reliable sources. Instead of Googling things, we can sit with the people of knowledge and have them explain the religion to us the correct way. We can consult with the true experts, not with Google. Google is not an expert. And we can engage in thoughtful dialogue to deepen the understanding of our faith. Okay? Also, practical engagement. When confronted with online atheistic content, as Muslims, if we employ the principles of allegiance and disassociation to actively explore the viewpoints presented, this will help us to be able to separate truth from falsehood. We'll be able to delve into Islamic responses to the atheistic arguments. We'd be able to engage in conversation with true scholars of the religion and peers who know this religion. And we'd be able to reflect on the logical aspects of our way of life that's based on the Quran and the authentic hadiths and not people's opinions and misinterpretations. Also, another way to combat the atheists is by contributing positive Islamic content. We can harness the principles of el wala wal bara to produce and share content that offers genuine portrayals of our faith instead of the crap that people come up with that's not true. This approach counterbalances the influence of atheistic platforms and provides accurate, truthful information about Islam to a broader audience. Most of the stuff that people read on the internet about Islam is not true. We all know that. Most of the things they say about our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not true. Okay, so we can provide the accurate information out there. Also, inspired by el wala wal bara, a collaborative group of Muslim content creators can establish an online presence like we have here at Sunnahfollowers, including a website and social media platforms dedicated to promoting Islamic teachings to help people learn the truth about our way of life, So this way we could dispel the misconceptions about Islam. We could spotlight stories of inspiring Muslim figures and showcase the positive influence of Islamic values, like we're doing here at Sunnahfollowers with the stories of the companions and the Caliphate of Umar radiallahu anha and things like that. So by effectively addressing the challenges to our belief system in the digital world, this is how we can change the lies that are put out there about our way of life. And all this is done by applying el wala wal bara and its principles. Okay? Allegiance and disassociation. It has to be done in the virtual realm as well as in the realistic realm of life. Okay? Also, there's other ways that we can address these platforms on the internet that are aimed at trying to destroy Islam by putting out misinformation. One way is by engaging in constructive dialogues and intellectual debates, which you see a lot of. The principles of al-wala wal-bara guide us as Muslims to engage in constructive dialogue and intellectual debate with individuals who hold atheistic viewpoints. By approaching these type of conversations with respect and an open mind, Muslims can address the concerns put forth by atheistic outlets while delivering well-founded defenses of their faith. We've done that here at Sunnahfollowers too. I remember 4 years ago, we did the open forum. We had the open forum where as we would talk about issues. For example, the polygamy open forum, that was one of my favorites. That was back when a lot of Muslims, a lot of new converts, we had a lot of people who were from the LDS community. We had some people who were former LDS people who converted to Islam. They were polygamists and they were practicing Islam the way they did as LDS. And we had that special polygamist open forum and we had to let them know, no, you are a Muslim now. In Islam, we do not practice polygamy that way. We don't marry our stepdaughters. This is haram. This is incest. A man cannot marry his stepdaughter, and a man can only have 4 wives. Brothers can't marry their sisters. We had, when we did that special on polygamy, a lot of the LDS people who had converted to Islam had to get rid of their wives and stuff. You know, they found out that Islam is nothing like LDS. And we had to let them know there are no sister wives in Islam. We don't have sister wives. When a man marries a second wife, he marries her. The woman don't marry nobody. And we don't live in the same house. So again, by engaging in constructive dialogues and intellectual debates, you discover a lot of things. You can defend your religion and realize that, you know, that show people that your lifestyle is not like theirs, like they thought. Okay, that's one example. Another example is you could have a Muslim scholar participate in an online panel discussion addressing questions and uncertainties about other religious beliefs. Well, I use polygamy as an example, but there's other beliefs too. You know, this happens all the time. We find a lot of Muslims engaging in open forums and debates like that. Okay. Also, Muslims can proactively generate and share comprehensive online Islamic resources and educational materials to open up people's minds about Islam. And by doing this, you can also disseminate authentic, meticulous research information that can provide a counter narrative to atheistic viewpoints, and that can empower people to develop a deeper understanding of Islam, putting out pamphlets and things like that on the internet to open up people's awareness. Okay. Also, you can set up a website, establish a website featuring in-depth articles and videos that speak about different facets of Islamic beliefs and practices. And the content can address misconceptions about Islam. We have a lot of websites like that, you know, on the internet now. Okay. So there's a lot of different things that we can do as Muslims, you know, to address, you know, the misconceptions out there about Islam, and it's being done every day, alhamdulillah. Also, the challenge of social isolation. This is a big one. As Muslims, we can promote diversity, okay, through online communities. El-Wala wal-Bara principles. They can guide Muslims in cultivating online communities that embrace diversity and inclusivity, that can help build unity by actively seeking out and engaging with individuals from different backgrounds and beliefs. We can break free from echo chambers and prevent the reinforcement of exclusionary attitudes. We've done that here at Sunnahfollowers. We've been doing that since 1986. That's why I've always kept the 24-hour Zoom room, a chat room. It's a Zoom room now. Before, it was always a chat room. I've always had a 24-hour chat room to help break free from echo chambers. You know, you can always log into our Zoom room. It's open 24 hours. So no matter where you are in the world, you don't feel alone. You don't feel isolated. You don't feel that you're alone. There's always somebody there to talk to you, to help you, to answer your questions and all of that. Okay. That's another good thing about the internet, and that way no Muslim, no matter where you are in the world, there's internet. You can log into our Zoom room, and somebody's there, you know, that can help you, can talk to you. You're never alone. Okay. Also, to counter social isolation. This happens all the time. Muslims can organize in-person gatherings and events that can bridge the digital and physical realms. That happens a lot. The sisters always realize that there's always somebody that lives close to them, and they end up meeting up in person, having events, face-to-face encounters and all of that to bring about community belonging and all of that. So that happens a lot. And also social events and things like that. So subhanallah, you know, there's ways to counteract that echo chamber, you know, the Zoom rooms, meetups and things like that.